Hey, what's up? This your boy Big Man. You already know what it is, man. So let's get right to it. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about this YSL Rico case, man. Now, there's a lot going on in the state of Georgia. There's a lot going on in the city of Atlanta, and there is a lot going on in the Fulton County District, man. So what's crazy about this situation is at the same time, you got the YSL case pretty much wrapping up. You got a situation going on with the DA's office where they're making headlines, right? Now, potentially this could have some benefit maybe to Young Thug in them's case, but things in this YSL case have been weird, man. Let's be completely honest. This has been a circus from day one. You've had people throwing hands on guards. You've had people getting escorted out of the court, trying to pass drugs allegedly. You've had all sorts of things take place. Rap music being played, all sorts of things going down. This is the most Atlanta, Fulton County court case you could ever see in your life, man. And Young Thug is at the center of it because he's the one with his life hanging in the balance. Well, what's even crazier is some news that got dropped today. Now, there's a guy, he works for the news there in Atlanta, local news, by the name of Michael Seaton. He's a reporter, right? And he just broke a story right now that is breaking social media apart, man. It's got everybody running on social media saying, could this be true? Is any of this true? Because one of the attorneys for one of the YSL defendants looks like she got arrested and is being charged as a gang member in multiple gang-related criminal charges. Now, this is crazy. I didn't think I would ever have to say that when it comes to an attorney in the case, somebody, actually a part of the legal process. But the way that this case has been going, you'll never know it, man. It could be anything with these YSL cats in this situation. I'm surprised what the verdict is going to be, man, because with all these distractions, you still got a guy waiting in the wind for his life to be altered in some sort of way. Either he's going to be going home or he's going to be taking a long sentence behind bars. There's murders that have been alleged, all sorts of things. We've seen with YFN Lucci, he's already taken his deal. And his deal was very favorable to him, man. His deal makes it seem like YFN Lucci got the best deal in this whole situation if he can keep his nose clean. There's some caveats to that. I did a video about that if you really want to dig into his paperwork and the plea deal that he signed, because there's some strict stipulations that he's going to have to stick to. But on top of that, you've got an attorney now looking like they're going to be fighting for their freedom as opposed to fighting for the freedom of their client. So let's look at this headline. So there's a story here at the local news, and it says this: attorney for a YSL defendant facing multiple gang-related criminal charges, APD confirms. Now, this is a picture of the lady right here, or the attorney in question. I don't know what's going on here, man. I don't know why in the world an attorney, somebody with their whole future ahead of them, would put themselves in this position behind YSL, Young Slime Life, or, anything like that for no reason. But, man, this is a crazy one, man. And like I said, this story has been absolutely a circus. So let's continue. Now, the story starts off by saying the attorney representing one of the defendants in the Young Slime Life Rico gang trial in Fulton County is now facing gang-related charges. Hold the horses, man. So you got an attorney facing gang-related charges? Like, how is that possible? Like, did they put her on the set? Like, was she down there banging with YSL and them? You know what I mean? Does she have a red bandana that she's hiding in her back pocket? I need to know. But anyways, let's continue. So it says, the Fulton County District Attorney's Office confirmed the charges to Channel 2 investigative reporter Michael Winnie. So this guy, he actually confirmed it with the DA's office. Now, that DA's office has been in the news a lot lately, and there's been a lot of news about them as well, man. So I'm not sure how all these RICO cases are going to work out. A lot of these plea deals, I mean, I would think that they'd be trying to cut down on the news since they're in the news so much lately, man, because Fannie Willis has been involved in this court case that's got the eye of the whole country, to be real with you, man. And it's making clips, people going in there telling on each other. It's a wild ordeal. It's a whole nother thing. But, man, it looks crazy when you look at that juxtaposed to last year where Fannie Willis was kind of like the hero. Everybody was like, oh man, she's taking on these gangs. She's taking on YSL. She's taking on YFN. And she's really trying to rid them of this out of the city and get them up out of there so the crime can go down. And now she's in a situation where she looks like she's going to be fighting for a job. It doesn't look like she's fighting for her freedom. It just looks like her job might be on the line or any future employment, with Fulton County's DA office or being the DA in the future. We just don't know at this time. Now, the story continues by saying this. The attorney, Nicole Fagan, who has represented Tincarius Mender, whose case was severed from the main Rico trial in early 2023. So what does that mean? That means Tincarius Mender, his case, and Young Thug's case are separate now. Like at some point, in 2023, they were trying to separate these cases, and some people were getting lumped in with YSL that weren't. Some people were, all sorts of things were going on, man. So it was a weird time, man, when this indictment first came down, because it looked like basically a rap crew was getting indicted. So, all sorts of new rules were being made, but one thing that stood was this was going to be a Rico indictment. Now, the story continues by saying Friday afternoon, Atlanta police confirmed to Channel Action News that Fagan was arrested based on information that she'd contacted a suspect in a September 27th, 2022 shooting of two men at Williams Street and Baker Street in Northwest Atlanta. One of the victims died, according to APD. So it looks like that she had reached out to somebody who was a suspect in this shooting that got carried out in the 27th of September in 2022, right? So almost 2 years, not really 2 years ago. So it looks like she had reached out to somebody. So where is the crime in this, you're probably asking? It continues by saying this. APD said Fagan was arrested in Gwinnett County and would be transported to Fulton County on warrants charging her with participating in criminal street gang activity and criminal solicitation to commit the offense of tampering with evidence. So that's it right there. They believe that she was some way tampering with evidence. Now, what made her reach out to her client and make that call allegedly, man? What, is this another love triangle situation? Like, which one of these YSL dudes then, dated this lady and then messed her life up, man? You know what I mean? Nah, I'm joking. I don't know that she was dating anybody in the case. It's just odd for an attorney to move outside of their parameters, and really what they're supposed to be doing legally and sacrifice their career for a shooting that might have happened, knowing what's involved, knowing what's on the line, man. So it's just crazy. Now, officers told Channel 2 Action News that Fagan called the suspect that she was not representing as an attorney, leading to the warrants charging her for gang activity. So it looks like the person that she called, she wasn't even representing as their attorney. So she wasn't even the attorney for this person that she had called. So what would make her call them? Like, was she looking out for them personally or they had some sort of a relationship that might have been just a friendship or something like that, or might be more? What was going on in this case for her to actually see the warrants, see whose name's on it, and then reach out to that person and be like, hey, man, this is what's going down? Because anybody in the legal profession would not do that, man. You're not risking your career for no cat who's already in the streets. He's going to have to take that on the head, fight it in court, pay these lawyer fees if he really wants that good defense. You feel me? Now, it ends by saying Fagan, according to APD, told the suspect there were active warrants for his arrest and that she had learned it during a preliminary hearing related to the shooting, telling the suspect to dispose of his phone as police were going to arrest him. Now, this is wild. So she's basically being alleged to to have told this person to get rid of their phone, knowing that they're actually being looked at in a murder, man. So she's wilding. Like, she's really, really out here, man. Now, I wonder how they got that information. It would be funny if the defendant or this person who's the alleged YSL member is the one who said, hey, the attorney, he probably told on her, or somebody around him told, or they either pulled the phone records that he had or that she had and then came with this warrant because they're going through the discovery of this whole case. You know what I mean? This is a crazy one, to be honest with you. But let's not end there. Let's actually look at the tweets from the reporter on the scene who was talking about this, Michael Seaton. All right, so let's look at the incident that the attorney is being accused of trying to help and conspiring and caught these gang-related charges with. You know what I mean? So this is what it says, right? Now, all that is being alleged. I'm not saying she's guilty, but let's look at what it is. So it kind of reads in reverse here. It says preliminary information. This is exactly when it happened. It says on September 27, 2022, at approximately 4:32 p.m., officers responded to a report of two people with gunshot wounds arriving at Grady Hospital by private vehicle. Upon arrival, officers located two victims who had sustained gunshot wounds. One victim was alert, conscious, and breathing, and a second victim was in critical but stable condition. Preliminary investigation indicates that the incident originally occurred near Baker Street Northwest and William Street Northwest, where the victims were engaged in an exchange of gunfire with the suspects. So it looks like it was a shootout. Two people who got shot were taken to Grady Hospital. That's what we can deduce from the original report. Then it says investigators responded to the scene to determine the circumstances around the incident. The investigation continues. Please keep in mind that the above information is preliminary in nature and can change as the investigation progresses and new information comes to light. So, what new information came to light? So the next report that they did about this was an update on October 1st, 2022. And it says Atlanta Police Homicide Unit was notified that one of the victims succumbed to his injuries. This case has now been changed from aggravated assault to a homicide. So it looks like it was changed from an aggravated assault to a homicide when one of the victims in the situation passed away a few days after being taken into Grady Hospital. Now, there was an additional update in February 21st, 2023. It says Keontae Davis was taken into custody by Atlanta Police Zone 2 officers for aggravated assault and murder. So this guy by the name of Keontae Davis looks like he was being charged as one of the shooters in this situation. So it looks like that's where the case was so far, until they went to digging into more evidence, going through phones, and that's where I believe that they came down to charge this attorney. So let's actually look at the tweets that started this whole situation. All right, so first off, you see this tweet that started everything and got everybody talking on social media. It says, breaking, YSL defense attorney Nicole Fegan arrested on gang charges. Now, what's crazy about this is an attorney getting arrested on gang charges, man. And then you look at her and you're like, what in the world? Now, he goes to break it down a little bit more in these following tweets. So let's look at them. So he says, in 2022, APD was investigating a double shooting on the northwest side of the city, and police learned that Fegan had contacted a suspect in the shooting, warning him about active warrants for his arrest, APD confirms. So it looks like a little bit of the same from the news story. Now, more info. Fegan provided information she had learned during a preliminary hearing related to the shooting and advised the suspect to dispose of his phone as police were going to arrest him. She was not representing him at the time. Now, that's the part that got her hemmed up right there, man. The fact that she was reaching out to him and giving him legal advice or any type of advice regarding the crime, and she wasn't his attorney at the time, man. So she doesn't have that attorney-client privilege or any of that, right? Even though I believe that usually reflects more on the client in these situations, right? Now let's continue. It says, Fegan is charged with participation in criminal street gang activity and criminal solicitation to commit the offense of tampering with evidence. APD just confirmed that Fegan was arrested in Gwinnett County and transported to Fulton County. We're working on getting warrants, but the hack is presenting a bit of a challenge. Now, this is the most recent tweet and the last tweet in regards to this attorney that's been locked up as on gang charges with the YSL case. Now, it says this: I spoke with defense attorneys in Fulton County, and they told me the earliest Fegan could face a judge would be tomorrow, which means she will be spending the evening at Rice Street. So that's crazy, bruh. So somebody who was an attorney for one of the YSL members or alleged YSL members and was actually on the opposite side of this case is now going to be at Rice Street in Fulton County, spending the weekend in jail until she can see the judge on Monday, man. This YSL case is one of the craziest cases out there ever in hip-hop history. It has been a complete circus. It's wild how this thing has been going down. Do y'all think that this attorney was really complicit in doing all these things, man? Do y'all really believe that although these might have been not been her intentions, this is what she did and she's going to be charged for it? Or do you believe like, yo, man, is it possible there's some sort of mistake in this situation? Because you would have to really, really be tripping to lose your job, your career, and sacrifice your reputation in the legal community and all that, only to pass a message to somebody that they got a warrant out, man. They're going to have to find that out on their own, and they're going to have to call me up for legal services if I'm in that situation. But y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment section. And just like every other piece of this YSL case, man, this is another monkey wrench in this thing, and it's why this case has been such a circus at late. Now with that, this has been your boy Big Man. Do me a favor, make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and make sure you hit that notification bell so that way you get a notification every time I drop this hot content. And we out of here. Peace.